Dear friends, in order to open to yourselves and open to the world, we need to have some kind of food. Thầy often remind us that everything needs food to survive. Everything. When you are in a relationship, and that relationship also needs food. The food here is your presence, your care to your loved ones. If you say you love that person and you are away for many, many years, or when that person is sick, you are not there, or when that person needs some guidance and support, you are not there, and you don't feed your loved ones the food that they need. And sooner or later, the relationship will be diminished because you don't have a better understanding toward your loved ones. Imagine that person, that you consider a husband or a wife in the future. And it's also need your support as well. So the food here is in your presence. The food here is to listen to the other person's both happiness and suffering. Learn how to listen to your loved ones. And using loving speech toward your loved ones. That person chose you to be a husband or a wife is very special. And try to make that commitment. And feed that love with your fully present, with your heart open. And give your loved ones some space so they can breathe, so they can make mistake. And if they make mistake, be there for them. When we come to a retreat like this, we also need food as well. The food of friendship, the food of brotherhood and sisterhood. And that helps us a lot. If we come to a retreat and we worry that Madam Nhung will not cook for us, or nobody will share to us, and then we don't have, we worry, and the retreat will not be possible. So when we look deeply, we look deeply that a retreat is possible with many, many favorable conditions. If you want to go to a retreat, and if some of you stay in Toronto, and you took the bus here, and if the organizing team did not pick you up at the bus station, then you lack of that condition, then you will not come to a retreat. So things manifest into the world has to have many conditions to make this manifest. It's not just like something dropped from the sky to us. If we look outside and we see the garden beautiful like that, because our uncles and aunties every day they make an effort to plant, to water, and so on, and the sun and so on. So when we stop and we reflect, we see that this happened like this because of many conditions manifest to make this happen. And we have to look in that perspective. Stop and reflect and look deeply Sometimes you have a suffering in yourself, a despair, a depression. Just stop and take a moment to look deeply. It doesn't mean that you are losing yourself to the past, but at the moment you know that I want to look deeply. What is the cause of my depression? What are the kind of food that cause me to make this kind of depression? Maybe some things that I watch on television, or a conversation, or what I have read in books and so on. Just stop and look deeply, and you will see the root of your suffering, the root of your depression, and you ask for help. Many of you are very young, and sooner or later you will get married, and the road is very rough. So you need to have a lot of guidance and support. Nowadays we have a lot of technology, email, text. We receive emails from young people. They seek for help. So you are welcome. If you have something that you cannot solve, email to us so we can share, offer some support. Because like our teacher, we love young people very, very much. And as a student of Thai, we also want to support the young people. That's one of the purpose that we want to come here, is to be and to support the Wake Up group in Montreal. So please feel free when you have something that you feel uncomfortable, you feel you cannot walk out from it, share, email to us so we can offer more and help you. Otherwise, if you cannot find a way out, and sooner or later you will abuse your body, and that is not the way. In order to live beautifully and happily in the present moment, one of the practice is to be aware of the present moment. If you want to live happily in the moment, first you have to be aware of what is going on. Aware is the mindfulness, the energy of mindfulness. Aware of the surrounding. Aware of what you are doing. For instance, if you are driving, you are aware of you are driving, but not thinking. If you are walking to the subway, aware that you are walking the subway. If you are cooking, aware that you are cooking. So that is the first practice. The second practice to live happily in the present moment is to contemplate on interbeing. Interbeing is like I have shared. This happened because that happened, and look deeply into the opposite pair. Happiness and suffering, they are connected to one another. Without happiness, there is no suffering. Like the image of Thai often reminds us, no mirth, no lotus. So happiness, don't afraid of the suffering, but do not afraid of happiness as well. Without happiness, there is no suffering. So don't afraid of happiness or suffering. Don't afraid of birth or death. It's just a routine. It's a way of life. You were born in this earth, beautiful earth, and sooner or later you have to let go of this. So birth and accepting that, contemplating on the change of life, it helps us to be focused in the present moment. And the third practice to help you live happily in the present moment is to make a vow. We all have wonderful vow. The vow to transform your sufferings and to help other people. Like the wake-ups, they have a lot of good heart. They did a lot of volunteer. Great vow. And to help others to do the same. Create an environment for them to come, the young people come and take refuge and offer the ride and carpool for them to a retreat. It's wonderful. That's how we live. We share our belongings to others. And when we share like that, we're so happy. That's the vow of compassion. And the fourth practice to live happy in the present moment is to know what you are consuming. We call mindful consumption. As a practitioner, be very careful on how you consume. Consume conversations, TV, and so on. Be very careful. The food as well. You notice here, the food is very healthy. So we know that we are on the right path. Consumption. So that makes us 4 practices that help us to look and get in touch with the world better, get in touch with yourselves, and to help you to be fully present and live happily in the present moment, in the here and in the now. Thank you.